again giving this MOU approach a chance. But unfortunately, the way that they play ball doesn't work with the rest of the world order, and so he had to change gears. But what's consistent about the policy is this, that he's trying to submit them through force to fall into place in a regional order, and they simply do not accept this point of view because they don't see themselves in light of the Western world order.
How is it possible, Ali? This is not his first term. It's his second time he's been president of the United States, that he is just now suddenly, halfway through a second term, recognizing who he is dealing with. The art of the deal, he did not know this. He had 4 years to understand this.
Well,
and the second question is, how could he not understand, having been advised by the Pentagon and the intelligence services?
Yeah, there are two
Wait, let me ask the question before you answer it. How could he not have realized that the choke point on this, the one bargaining chip Iran had, was the Strait of Hormuz, and it comes as a surprise that they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, that with all these naval assets that the United States had in place prior to any military action, they did not take steps to ensure that Iran would not have seen that.
Okay, so I'll keep my answers short, but you asked a few complex questions here. So first of all, when it comes to theocracy, as someone who's been talking a lot about, the policies of the Islamic Republic based on their theology and eschatology and how it informs their politics, I have seen that's very difficult for most people to understand. People tend to deny it, shut it down, never cover it on the news.
The president's got advisors who explain all this to him. The minute he walks into the Oval Office on day one, the first time he was president of the United States, he's not Joe Blow on the street who has no conception of it. It's the president of the freaking United States.
Two of the lobbyists of the Islamic Republic as people that he had consulted for understanding Iran. Two very well-known lobbyists of the Islamic Republic. There's NIAC and the Quincy Institute that are lobbyists of the Islamic Republic in Washington, D.C. So first of all, their job is to dull the edge of the American sword vis-a-vis the regime and say, look, the compromise and discussion is the better way to go. There's people in the regime that are not so radical, et cetera, et cetera. So first of all, there was the fact that, there's a multitude of voices speaking. Second, even the voice that explains to him theocracy and hears it, and let's say he gets it, he functions within a Western world order that ties his hands to completely reason politically from that point of view to the American people, to other world leaders, and to completely function from that point of view. This idea is our system kind of holds us back. So he's a little bit constrained about with the way the system he works in. He gets different types of advice. I'm not sure that people understand it. I talk to very high level people, including people that are in government, and the things they say to me about Iran or Qatar is I was talking to a member of parliament here a few weeks ago, and we were in a committee, and he leaned down towards me. He said, so let me get this straight. The Muslim Brotherhood, do they have like a CEO? Is there like a building? And I didn't know what to say. No, this is where we are, because he's just a guy who got a job. He's not like
No, Ali, no, we are not. I know what door you're coming in. Stop. The credit he does not deserve, mister. In this situation, we lost, and that's the bottom line is, don't make this kind. I know where you're coming from.
I don't know what you're saying.
Wait a minute. I know where the hell you're coming from. One more extra word. You praise this thing, I'm going to knock you out of this room. Get in here. Hear me out.
So,
if you don't understand, shut the hell up. Go down.
Okay, so Gary, for finding your final question about the Strait of Hormuz. So to secure the Strait of Hormuz,
right?
What was needed?
What they did is right. What they did to answer this question? What United States did is right. But it's a benefit of Iran, as you say.
I don't know what you're saying.
We're not gaining anything. Why don't you understand that? This thing has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, so the short answer is that Marines are required on the land to take the port
No,
of Bandar Abbas.
we don't need it. And people like you, which supporting this regime, telling that, and your propaganda doesn't work. We have enough Iranian to knock the hell out of this regime. Why don't you get it?
Yeah, no, I get it, sir. I don't support the regime. I'm a very published author against the regime, sir.
No,
I have
you're
no
not.
idea what you're saying.
No, you're not. You are. Many people like you telling us you are the supporter people and against this regime, but your action different. You come in.
I don't know. You don't know me. I don't appreciate the things you're telling me.
No, I don't need to know you. I understand.
You do need to know me. You do need to know me.
I listened to you long enough. I listened to you long enough.
The American
Don't
public
insult my intelligence, mister.
You're being slanderous, sir. The American public could not, accept the fact that America might enter into another war. So the Strait of Hormuz cannot be secured through naval or air alone. It's very mountainous. The port of Bandar Abbas, they have put guns everywhere, and you have to literally go with Marines.
So there's no way that they could have seen through satellite imagery the laying of the mines, and there was no way they could have interdicted and stopped the laying of the mines without Marines on the ground, boots on the mines.
Yeah,
I said the laying of the mines. Was this a surprise to the Pentagon? Oh, you know what? We didn't think that they might lay the mines. That's impossible.
I'm not in the Pentagon to know, if they're actually got satellite images watching it 24/7 to know, hey, look, they're placing mines. Let's see where they're placing it. But I do know that once the battle started, in order to really open the Strait of Hormuz, the American public didn't have the stomach for the kind of military action that was required.
And the question was, how could he not have predicted that this would be the outcome of what he was doing? How could it have been a surprise?
Their insurance right away and from the oil tankers and said, because the Strait of Hormuz has been, closed by the IRGC, we're not going to insure these ships. So he came in and said, fine, the United States will insure the insurance company.
Right. Does that answer my question? You're talking about what he did after you say is operating strategically, and you discussed the manner in which he was operating strategically. Could not have predicted that the Strait of Hormuz would be closed.
Right. Well, I don't have the answer, obviously, to that question. And also, why didn't the Pentagon, war game beforehand?
Well, why do you ask that question? How do you know the Pentagon didn't war game it? The commander-in-chief, he has to tell them what to do and what not to do. I think I have a little bit. I know that it was a little bit of a crass challenge to you by Alan, but I have to show some sympathy to the position one is articulating here.
And what is that position?
You're obfuscating on the question.
Well,
you're obfuscating on the question, and I'm not going to. I'm not suggesting that's what's going on with regard to this particular situation in the region, and yet you can't answer the question.
Because the question requires for me to have knowledge that I have no. With the passage of time, you can analyze policy. His policy has been consistent from before the 12-day war.
It's been reported, and you know it's been reported because you follow this very closely by reputable sources that the Pentagon and the CIA and the DIA and probably the Mossad, if not directly, at least indirectly, told the president, warned the president that the first thing that Iran would do is secure, and he wouldn't have all this objection to the war because you know, as well as I know, that the main reason Americans can't stomach this has nothing to do with the fact that we have military assets over there, because in the aggregate, there haven't been that many casualties, thank God.
Yeah.
The reason they can't stomach it is because so that could have obviated in advance had they secured control of the Strait of Hormuz. And so I will ask you one final time, how could he not have seen that when his advisors have told him that that's exactly what the counter move would be?
I attended a lot of meetings by military people explaining to me how can they open the Strait of Hormuz back up.
Right. Again,
what I learned,
we're going to move on. We're going to move on. I didn't ask you how can we reopen the Hormuz. I've been clear, I think, 4 times, I believe, and asked you, anticipated that this would be the logical outcome of the move. And you didn't answer that. And I think I have to kind of understand Alan's point of view. There's got to be a reason why somebody who's knowledgeable on this issue can't answer the question directly. Just answer the question directly. It's not a question of whether I agree or disagree with your answer. I'm trying to understand that question, and I think you're in a position to explain it to us, but you're not. Ask directly. I don't get it. But maybe you're thinking about running for office because none of those guys answer their questions asked directly either. Murad, followed by Amir.
Well, Gary, let or not, from the first moment the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding was signed, my compatriots abroad were beating the drums of despair, but I still counted on Trump and his thinking team, because Trump himself considers the Islamic Republic an existential threat to the United States. We can clearly see that they are seeking revenge and Trump's blood, and they are shouting this at the funeral of their bloodthirsty leader and planning for it. From the beginning of the war, I believe that this is a step-by-step war, and that the terrorist nature of IRGC would not tolerate any agreement. And if you see that the Strait of Hormuz has become so challenging, it is not because the Navy does not have the power to open it, but because the time for the direct intervention of the from now to announce that I see the hard oil island as lost, and I foresee difficult and terrible days for my compatriots, including internet outages, as well as water and electricity outages. We must pay for freedom, Gary. Back to you.
Now there was a direct analysis. Thank you, Murad. Amir, followed by David.
Hi, Gary, Alan, Scott, everyone. Right. Okay, so I think Trump miscalculated at the start of the 40-day war. I mean, that's the first thing that I'm saying. They thought, both Trump and Netanyahu, thought that if they get rid of the top layer with a few IRGC commanders, then the whole thing's going to fall apart. But what we saw was the sort of matrix and management of not just the governance, but also in terms of the military, which managed to effectively hold its own and make the war into a 39-day war. But I think the objective of Trump hasn't changed. I actually agree with some of the stuff that Ali said. And his objective is still surrender Iran to accept the peace agreement. It didn't work after the 40-day war. I think he's going to buy his time, until the midterms are over. I mean, there may be some fireworks tonight and the days after, but the main objective is still surrender. I mean, it's a bit like the World War II. You don't kill everybody. You kill most people, but you leave a few generals to sign the agreement. And I think that's what he's done with the likes of Balibov and Pezeshkian and so on. But as I said before, regarding the agreement, with regards to the question, it was bound to fail. I mean, the first clause was a non-starter, especially when Iran doesn't have to stop.
But an MOU is not a deal, though. That's like an agenda, like you set up for business.
I don't understand how people don't understand basic English, that we speak one at a time and we do not interrupt one another on the stage and we wait for our turn, and being told that if you interrupt again, you'll be removed from the stage. It can come as no surprise that you just were. Go ahead, Amir.
So, I mean, on the other hand, Israel, I think Israel's agenda is quite clear too. Hezbollah must be disarmed, which I think is well on its way, with coordination with Lebanese army and the backing of US. Hamas has now effectively relinquished its hold on Gaza in terms of the governance and handing the governance over. But going back to so those are important factors, because you need to deal with the proxies good and proper before you actually and the Iraqi proxies, as Ali mentioned, about the seizing of the funds and so on. So you have to deal with these proxies before you actually concentrate on Iran itself, in order to come to some sort of agreement, which effectively means surrender, which effectively means the end of Islamic Republic, basically. But in the way that Trump sort of has figured it in his head, I think he's well aware of the nature of the beast, as it were. He knows, how radical these guys are. I'm sure his advisors will have told him. But he doesn't want to destroy the country. He doesn't want 30 million people on the go, in terms of leaving the country. I mean, if he starts hitting the infrastructure like the power plants and so on, if you can't pump water to the second floor of your apartment, then it's going to happen what happened in Syria. 1/3 of the population effectively walked out of the country. So he's quite correctly, in my view, is trying to avoid that. But going back to the agreement, I think the agreement is a non-starter. It's actually similar to the Minsk agreement, Gary, between Russia and Ukraine. And that, and this one is bound to sort of go the same kind of defunct way. If you remember, it failed because inherently they had conflicting interpretation and of the agreement, and they were fundamentally incompatible goals, between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine viewed the deal as a way to sort of restore its sovereignty, but Russia viewed it as a mechanism to exert control over Ukraine. It's a similar thing here. It's the objective. That is why they're pushing every time. And they actually think that goal is achievable, believe it or not. I mean, it's a crazy thought, because if they achieve that, then you can forget US as being a superpower, and Iran will definitely become a regional power and be able to impose its will on just about everybody, not just the Strait of Hormuz. It will, and the war with Israel will definitely be on the horizon. And I'm talking about the major war, in which Israel could easily use nukes. And this is how serious it would be. But again, back on the, I'm sorry, I'm talking.
Thank you for that, Amir. Folks, I want to just make a personal plug before we go on any further. I wrote a very heartful piece in my Substack because somebody, and it was the last person in the world that I would ever expect this from, said there's got to be a reason why people hate the Jews. Said that right to my face. And I answered this person in a Substack piece that I wrote just before we went to air here. So if you go back up to the main chat, you will see, if you scroll back a little bit, a link that I put in about a half an hour before we started. I think I put that link in at just before we started, maybe even. About within the hour before we started our discussion here. And I appreciate it if you would read it. It's very short. Comment. And, geez, it's very personal to me. But the interaction, I think, is reflective of an influence that's being perpetrated on a lot of people. And I may be wrong in my observation, and I love your feedback to that. So take a look at it if you would, please. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Amir. We'll go to David, followed by Agent.
Gary. Yeah, very spirited debate. I appreciate a lot of the comments. Earlier, go after oil installations if the United States continues its bombing. Recall in 1991 when Saddam Hussein set 500 oil fires aflame in Kuwait and created what many have argued environmental and disaster along the lines of Chernobyl, and the gas the whole region in a horrific response to. So, this is a big fear, and not only that, and they only have, I believe, a 2-day supply if, in fact, those get attacked, and this would force the region into a massive humanitarian crisis. So Iran holds over these negotiations over what they perceive as their winning hand, if you will. And Trump continues to bluster into these realities, not fully taking steps to be cagey with the midterms. He's trying to talk Americans off the fear that we're going to see oil prices spike. They were coming down. We saw oil trend downward. Now they're trending upward again. So Gary, this is this gamemanship has been very costly, and we've had over 50 years to understand this regime, to understand their play, their theocratic realities. Many have argued that they want to take us back to 7th century Islam, which is the early beginnings. I think Netanyahu overplayed his hand, and in his zeal to protect Israel, and obviously to give Trump some sort of validation in the history and the annals of American victory over this, he took the bait and went for it. His Joint Chiefs of Staff had warned him, as previous administrations had been advised, that this is, to quote Colin Powell back in Gulf War I, if you destroy it, if you break it, you own it. And so, sorry, I had to get rid of that call. And so I think holding us hostage as a nation is really what's happening here, and who can withstand the pain longest. And I think the Iranian regime is prepared. I mean, hell, Gary, we don't even know who's running the show right now. We know that the son of the deceased leader is now in charge, supposedly, but many have argued his military is running the show. So many have argued that it was a combination of sympathies with regard to religious fealty, to rallying behind the flag, to outright support for the guy. And of course, there are probably millions more that were anti-regime and afraid to come out and obviously stayed at home. So a lot to consider going forward. And, Gary, we're at the mercy of a president who, we saw how he went to the NATO summit in Turkey and called out our allies with some level of massive level of disrespect. And then, of course, he wrapped it all up in a bow and said, things are great. So apparently the NATO alliance is holding, irrespective of the rhetoric that's coming out of his mouth. But, he's leaving us in a lurch, Gary. He's really leaving us second-guessing. And I'm sure the powers that be, the oil companies, the insurance companies, everybody's on a speed dial into Trump. I'm sure they're getting information that isn't necessarily readily available to the average American. But Gary, I want to just say that your commentary is absent the realities of what really has to happen here. I think the nations around the world, as smart as they are, having their own levels of, particularly our NATO allies, having their own politics, understand the cost, the heavy burden that has to be lifted to take out the regime. And we're sort of dancing around the fact that young men, young women are going to have to risk their lives to try to attempt to take this regime out. And that's not something I don't think President Trump is prepared to do. And for that, I respect the man for, and at some point we may have to pull the trigger on that front. But unless the rest of the world who benefits from cheap oil prices, from stability, are also willing to put their men and women on the line,
our other allies to embrace this action, no matter how serious they believe it ought to be, when you have a president who is consistently attacking NATO. Why would they form a coalition of the willing? They wouldn't. Now, one could argue that the president has been very successful through the manner in which he has been broaching the issue of NATO contributions to get them to step up to the plate and not be fully dependent upon the United States for their defense. And they did it pretty damn rapidly. Give them credit. And they're doing it now very rapidly. And we saw that at the NATO summit, reflected at the NATO summit with the announcement of the massive purchase of military. So there's a success, perhaps, based on that tactic.
Well,
but a lack of corresponding support for the United States. If your argument is, well, none of these other countries are willing to go and expend blood to ensure the freedom of the world, which is threatened very directly by the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Well, but Gary, keep in mind that Europe has Russia on its doorstep. There's talk that Putin's exploring a possibility of entering into Poland, and so had we not had this 5-year drawn out World War I type ground bloodbath between Ukraine and Russia, I think NATO would have been more on board with assisting us in this endeavor. But I think they've got bigger fish to fry with Putin talking about coming into Poland.
If the president of the United States, when Europe is actually under the first real duress they've had since the Nazis, yourself, why would they take the time to say in turn, well, we'll help you with regard to Iran? No, the way he is. I'm sure of it. They weren't, he said today, in NATO, I went there, and there was a lot of love in the room for Trump. Even the Secretary General of NATO said he did not want to go to his own summit in Turkey, and the implication was clearly because Donald Trump would be there, but he did it out of respect for Erdogan. Can you imagine that you're showing more respect for a maniac like Erdogan than you are for the President of the United States? He created this situation, David, for better or for worse, and maybe in some respects it is better. But with regard to trying to get our natural, consistent allies in Europe to step up to the plate and show support for the efforts in the Middle East, only if they're forced to do it.
Well, yeah, and I just want to, not take the room too far afield, but a great piece on 60 Minutes the other day regarding the rare earth mineral monopoly that China holds over our economy. They control 90% of the world's rare earth mineral production with regard to very sophisticated magnets that go in just about everything from our military to our cars, that they could pull that card very easily and we're scrambling over here, and we're trying to take out Iran when we have an even bigger threat to the east of us with regard to Taiwan. So I think ultimately we can't battle everybody, but I think one thing is certain. If NATO falls apart, which has been a wet dream of Putin's for some time now, we are really going to be in a lurch, Gary, as far as trying to hold it alone. And Iran knows this.
Playing into Putin's hands.
Well, I think he was last year. I think when he decided to meet with him in Alaska, when they shook poor Zelensky down the way they did in the White House, embarrassed him on the international stage, and kind of left him leaving empty-handed, going back to fight the good fight. I think that was a bad start to his administration, a bad start for Ukraine. And now Trump thought he was backing a winner. He likes to back winners. And now Ukraine is punching above their weight with this asymmetrical warfare. Russia just has too much territory to try to defend, too much infrastructure that's heavily exposed to this. And he sees Ukraine winning. In fact, I think he just signed some sort of executive order with regard to manufacturing Patriot missiles over in Ukraine. So we're making an attempt there. And I think we're feeling more confident to provide our NATO backing in a way that we weren't previously excited about backing under under Biden, because of the threat of Putin going nuclear. So I think the winds are changing in the favor of Ukraine here, and I think Trump is starting to see that the little guy in the office is holding his own, and we should back him to the extent that we can, and help him achieve some sort of peace agreement or forcing Trump out of there. So
I just want to say this is getting far afield, that the United States fears about Putin began during previous administrations, when we sold defensive missiles to Poland. Defensive missiles to Poland, which, as you just pointed out, have a realistic fear of invasion from Russia. And Russia threatened retaliation if we went through with that deal, because they viewed those missiles as a threat to the Russian homeland. So we pulled out of the deal. That was the Cuban Missile Crisis, except it was manufactured. Something to consider. Sometimes, and I'm not John Bolton by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes you have to stand up to the bully. When my children were kids, and by the way, this went against school policy, and I had a child who was suspended because she followed my advice, not that dictated by the school, and stood up to bullies. And my son previously stood up in another school to bully against the policy. Sometimes you have to do that. And by the way, when my daughter got suspended, I rewarded her for it. What terrible parenting by me. You rewarded your child for getting suspended from school? We're going to have to call social services on you. David, followed by Daniel.
I suppose it's me, right? David spoke.
If your name is David, yes. The other.
It's good to be back in your room. Earlier you asked a question from a gentleman that either avoided answering or you know the answer, and that's like, why did you...
He knew the answer, he just obfuscated. He didn't want to answer. He's a very knowledgeable individual. I acknowledge that about him. That's why I asked him the question. But yes, it wasn't that he didn't know, I'm sure.
You might want to repeat the question really quick, because I have my own answer, just in case.
Well, I asked him, how was it that the president did not anticipate that the logical response by Iran actions by the United States would be to close the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, my answer is that he was aware of it, and there was a cost and benefit, and that was a decision that was made based on that. And I explain why. The policy of the United States, the 4 or 5 decades of the sanctions and threats and all that, was a dead end. It was a self-reinforcing cycle of coercion and resistance. The politics of containment, sanctions, and military pressure weakened Islamic Republic, but it failed to give a result. And the reason was that the Islamic Republic, first of all, when it came to economy, created an economy of resistance instead of economy of development. By that I mean just the basics that the country needs, and that's basically it. And Khamenei, the former leader, all the time, every year discussed that and brought up that that's the plan, the resistance economy. Resistance economy circumvented the sanctions, and there is like 2 economies in the world: the economy of the underground economy, where there is drugs, there is weapons, there is human trafficking, there's drug, and all that, and just resorted to that. And it's a very successful economy too, if you go that way. And that's what they did. And also all the oil that they were still, no matter what, through China, etc., they were selling, even at discount, but it just comes out of the ground, to them it's free, and created their own leverage and also to proxies, etc. And this 4 or 5 decades, they didn't get it. It was just a matter of just keeping the status quo or doing something about it. And October 7th, I think, was a turning point that eventually came to the point that something has to be done about it. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight. So the United States had 3 choices. The first one was just status quo that I just mentioned, that was just a dead end. The other option was to attack with there is no appetite for it, that American kids go on a foreign land, and the results that in Afghanistan, Iraq, etc., all from Vietnam all the way on, except 1 or 2 cases, it was a disaster. So those 2 were out of the picture, still is, as far as I'm concerned. The third one was exactly what President Trump did, to get rid of as much leaders as possible, get rid of as much as possible their nuclear capacity, as well as their defense mechanism. And then hoping, as he said, that the new leadership would get into some MOU and then later agreements. Well, that hasn't happened, and despite promises and hopes, that hasn't happened. So what, I'm getting to the end of the conclusion, what President Trump kept mentioning and continuing to threat the leaders is that I will annihilate, I will get rid of all your infrastructure. And why does he say that? Because the resistance economy needs that infrastructure. So if the leadership, leftover leadership, doesn't come on board, he has 2 choices, and he will continue doing that. Get rid of more leadership levels, it's like peeling an onion, like it's been told, as well as destroying even more of infrastructure. So the asset that they have, which is the resistance economy, will no longer work. It's the complete closure of the Strait of Hormuz on them to prevent even sending to China. And last benefit is that although the U.S. is less dependent on the oil, it but always notice what President Trump says. He kind of controls the market. The Europeans eventually have to do something about it too. So that helps his goal of containing or changing the regime, or at least the behavior of the regime. And that's why he did what he's doing, and he's going to continue doing that.
But wait a minute, you're arguing that it was strategic and expected that the Strait of Hormuz was closed. A varying number of reasons that you just articulated, that in the long run, it has in terms of getting to codify this and make it extremely simple. All these other nations that are equally or even greater affected by the impact oil to them to step up to the plate.
Correct. War is not the first choice, but sometimes it's unavoidable. But it is one kind of war, and that the cost. There's always a cost and benefit with the war, and that's the path that has been chosen. And if you notice, the MOU was signed at G7 in front of the leaders of the free world. They all clapped. So he did what they were expecting or they were asking for. Yesterday he was at the NATO was done at the neighboring country of Iran, and then this other is being done. To the extent that living in the U.S., they're saying, "Oh, you gave him everything," and he did give a lot of things. It wasn't much that he gave. The things that was taken away was being offered back if they behaved, but they haven't behaved. So I think it's a calculated move. There is a cost, but there is a benefit after 40 years that they have to do something.
The squeeze that would be placed upon him as we approach the midterm elections as a result of the Strait of Hormuz being closed?
Yes, I think the Congress was a lost case, and it's about Senate and what's going to happen with the Senate. Some believe, but those are the ones who sometimes vote one way or another, but the ones who are going to stay are solid supporters of it. He's not that worried about that. In a way, that election, as far as Trump is concerned, is not an issue. As you see, it hasn't been that concern. It's the presidential election and all that, and what the result will be. It's all cost and benefit.
It's very interesting analysis. I appreciate you participating today, because that's an angle I have not heard anybody articulate. So I haven't been able to really consider it until now. Thank you, David. Just before I get to Daniel, I want to say there are folks whose hands have been up. I have not ignored you. I've invited all of you to the stage repeatedly. And either you don't see it or you aren't getting the invite to the stage because of some kind of a clubhouse issue. And I think that in at least one case, Les actually left the room and came back and tried again, and that didn't seem to work. So I don't understand why several of you are stuck in the audience, not on the stage, but I just wanted to make it clear it's not because I have ignored you, because I anticipate some nasty grams from people. Why didn't you bring me up to the stage? And I just want to clarify that it's not my doing. Daniel, followed by Enrique.
Thank you for having a great room, Gary. I had something to say to both Davids, actually. One of them's left, but I just want to say for the record that a cost-benefit analysis, almost sort of, on a deal-making basis, that destroying infrastructure is not a cost-benefit. It's a war crime. That's literally what it is. And I think that it is interesting that this whole Iran episode showed off to the world whole industry of modern warfare, that now all the Gulf states are bringing experts in from Ukraine to show them, how to defend themselves against Iran. So it's risen since we were talking Ukraine turning the tide before when the other David was here. I just wanted to support that I think very much, even before they started taking back land, Ukraine started turning more than 6 months ago. But as far as what I'd like to say about the idea that there's strategy, I think the idea of the second David, that there's some long-term strategy here, would take a pretty big bet. But the idea that we have to talk about it as a long-term strategy means we recognize that in the short term, it's harming the entire world. That's a fact. In economic measures, human income measures, and for what benefit? Like, was there even a selfish benefit to the United States right now out of what has been engaged in? Never mind if you even remove the costs of blood and treasure as well. What has actually been accomplished that you already have with the Obama deal, which took a couple of years and a whole administration, to get to that level, and that had the agreement of a bunch of countries, not just America. Let's not forget where Trump is complaining on the world stage that he has no support because he has no idea what it is to build an international set of relationships. Those are a threat to him. He's only interested in the individual authoritarians he can deal with, because he can't apparently, I'm just looking at it objectively, ever seem to create real coalition. So as far as the Iran thing is concerned, I'll just land my plane on this thought, which is including Ukraine, including Russia going into Ukraine, including America trying to take out Iran, which has made it stronger economically and in every way. Since 1900, I'm going to ask you, since 1900, is there any case we can point to where the aggressor has really won anything? I can't find it.
I guess one would have to define what is winning,
And what's an aggressor too, right?
Yeah, I guess, and what's an aggressor too? That's a difficult one to. Yeah, I think perhaps you're saying when it comes to wars that hasn't occurred. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm not qualified to answer that.
I think it is a question all of us can explore, especially with the tools, as to whether there is any truth to this conversation that in the modern world, the aggressor does not win predominantly, whether it's America and Vietnam, whether it's Russia and Afghanistan, whether it's exactly what's happened in Iran now, where America, in my observation, in every measure can measure of value, America has harmed itself in this war with Iran. And clearly a lot of people believe that's true, at least as well. And so where is the scenario? Obviously, we know what happened in World War II with the aggressor, right? Where has the aggressor won? Maybe the Falkland Islands? The British is about the only thing I can sort of point to. And my point about stuff, which after the war, I'll predict this also about Ukraine. Not only is it leading the world right now militarily in ingenuity and technology and demand around the world for the hottest product in military history in 1,000 years. But after the war is over, I can tell you myself for an hour about the amount of money that is lined up to go into Ukraine, and is some of it already spending money in rebuilding Ukraine, because humanity makes a lot of money building after the war. When we get past the war is where we make the money. That's what I'm going to say.
Thank you, Daniel. Again, I know there are a lot of hands up, and more have come up. Everybody's been invited up to the stage. I don't know what's going on with Clubhouse today. One of the individuals who stuck with her hand up in the audience knows the folks who run this program. So I know we have a direct line of reporting. All enjoy the program. I'm not knocking them at all. So they have an incentive to resolve this problem. Now it's SAAM, so I can't say Sam. I guess it's same.
Am I saying your name right? Same followed by Mary Lou.
It's actually Sam, but you can call me
Sam. I should have known that. Sam. Got it. No, I like calling people by their names accurately. Sam, you're.
Appreciate it. I just want to share really quick about what the previous speaker was talking about, how this deal is going to be like what Obama, the deal with Obama. You can't even compare the two. Number one, the military of IRGC has weakened more than ever before. Finally, after 47 years, somebody, instead of sending him planes of cash, stood the ground and fought them for once, for a change. Anyways, so that's number one. And I think he's done so far, and this is not done yet. And you said ceasefire, the actually title of the room. It's a memorandum of understanding which they broke. IRGC did. They're the one who started this, right? And that cancels it, and no obligations whatsoever. So I think the war is back. So we don't know what's going to happen yet. Some people talk as if it's done, like this is it, we're out, everything's back to normal. If he doesn't finish the job, even if he doesn't finish the job to this point, IRGC has been weakened than any time in the past 47 years, more than any time. This is the weakest that they've ever been. So that by itself, it's a win. All their proxies have been destroyed, almost destroyed, or they make deals with Hezbollah and the whole Israel situation. So they're gone weakened. That's all I was going to say. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And we'll go to Amir.
Again, Gary, I actually came up to test this idea that you wouldn't accept the invitation. But now that I'll just say just a couple of words about the MOU. You've heard this old story about a guy in Kentucky who sells his horse for $100. Well, you may have heard it. And they go to him and they say, well, why did you sell your horse for $100? And he says, well, my horse was lame. He was worthless. So they go to the buyer and they say to him, you poor bugger, you bought a lame horse. He'll be just fine. So they go back to the seller and say, you idiot, actually, the horse is lame. I put a nail in his foot so that the buyer would think it's limping because of the nail. So they go back to the buyer. They say, you've been had, mate. The horse is actually lame. The dude put a nail in his foot to fool you. And the buyer says, well, my $100 bill was fake anyway. So that's the moral of the story, if you ask me, for this signed MOU between US and Iran.
Well, the president, before the United States attacked Iran following the attack on the shipping, the president called the ceasefire a waste of time. I mean, how are we supposed to judge what the hell is going on? And you're probably right. Everybody is holding counterfeit bills in their hands. And it's all one flim-flam artist dealing with another flim-flam artist. And who suffers? Okay, Gary expresses his frustration in the critical thinking forum, but that's not real suffering. The people who are suffering through all this are the people of Iran primarily and the people of Israel. They're suffering as a result of this inconsistency, this whirlwind. I don't have opportunity right now, for obvious reasons, to talk to anybody in Iran. I actually, as Alan can attest, there was a time when I had direct communications with people in Iran. I cannot reinstate them now. I have some indirect information that I'm getting, but not direct. But I am getting a lot of direct information from the people of Israel. This is taking a psychological toll on the people of Israel, all of this. They have no idea where they stand. I think the people of Iran and the people of Israel both were, in general, very happy when the United States, thanks to President Trump, took decisive action with regard to this terroristic regime in Iran. There was a unification there of the populaces. Was that proper? Is it populaces or is it populi when you talk about two populaces? I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. There was a unification there. And now there's nothing but confusion, Amir.
Yeah, I 100%. I think everybody is suffering. There's no doubt about it. And the people in Israel and the people in Iran are suffering much more than the people. I think it was inevitable. There was a timeline that this would be happening. Now, if it had happened sooner, it would have been better, rather than sort of appeasing, which as Obama did, with tons of cash. If it was done earlier, then it would have been easier. But then, I actually think that Iran is somewhat snookered here, more so than anyone else. It cannot help Hezbollah. Israel and Lebanon are squeezing Hezbollah dry of weapons and resources and destroying underground, which was done by air. So it seems to me that, as I said, it's probably the midterm is an important one, because if Trump loses the midterms, then basically he's a lame duck president for the rest of the time. But if he wins it, and he knows that, this is his last term anyway, then that kind of gives him a free hand to do what he wants. And I think we judge him after the midterm and not with what's been going on up to now, which is effectively buying time and trying to sort of manage the market, to control the price of oil and everything else. So that's what's happening at the moment. But don't forget, on the last point, don't forget the huge struggle, the internal fighting that's going on in Iran, and this is going to peak as we move towards September, because the fighting is really over just about everything, and the Pezeshkian, Ghalibaf, and Iraqi team are effectively marginalized at the moment, unless someone like Ghalibaf does a sort of a mini coup d'etat and gets hold of the system overall, and then makes a deal with Trump. This is going to sort of push Iran towards an internal collapse, which is going to be much easier to deal with in the eyes of Trump after the midterm. And that's my summary of it.
Amir, I want to throw another thing into this one bit of information that heretofore hasn't been discussed. Seymour Hersh has written today, and he gets the nail on the head a lot, and sometimes he misses. But what he reports today is, I'm going to quote him directly, the U.S. and Israeli intelligence communities have recently learned that Iran's supposedly existential threat to Israel and the West, its underground supply of partially enriched uranium, has degraded while in underground storage. 2 of the 3 Iranian nuclear storage depots at Fordo and Isfahan are hot. That is, filled with radioactivity from what clearly has been significant degradation of the storage containers Iran had used for the keep saving of I think he started to write keeping and then changed it to saving. The saving of Iran's hope of eventually by sources close to U.S. and Israeli intelligence that a recent inspection of the underground storage areas led to the death of at least 2 Iranian technicians. They may have been members of the Iranian military who were exposed to high levels of radioactivity. Again, I don't know the veracity of this, but I don't think he just, is writing a novel. So he believes in what he is writing is accurate. They may be in worse shape, the regime that is, than we had anticipated before.
I think that is the case. I mean, I'm not a nuclear physicist, so I couldn't make comment on the degradation of the nuclear material. But if that is the case, I don't think, even if that is the case, that's going to be enough for Netanyahu and Trump to be satisfied. They need to get hold of that material, one way or the other, whether it's decaying or not. They need to close the enrichment facilities, because that obviously opens the path for developing this material in the future. So those two are non-negotiable, and they need someone in charge to be able to have a deal with that. And once you take those two out of the equation, you've effectively got rid of what we know Islamic Republic as, because then the main card, the winning card, is out of their hand, effectively.
If this information is accurate, that main card only is out of their hand, to use your phraseology, if people are aware of it. Right? So if people are not aware of this information, if it's accurate, it doesn't even matter whether they really have the nuclear capabilities. If people think they do, they still have the upper hand. I think it's something to consider. Thanks, Amir. We'll see how far we get with the last two on the stage, because we have 6 minutes remaining. Aspira, followed by Daniel.
You hear me?
Yeah, and again, my apologies to those who could not get up on stage. I've invited you repeatedly. It's not your fault or mine. Aspira, you're.
Thanks so much. No, I would like to bring perhaps a different perspective about this war, if I may. I don't think this war with Iran about oil trade or deals, as we've been hearing, lately. I believe this is related to the Islamic expansion into the West, because the threat of Islamic radicals mainly sponsored by Iran and other caliphates. If you look at into the past, that has been the case. And I also did some steps to go to Turkey and try to convince them to make deals with us. So I think there is some concerns there. And I heard about the efforts that the United States made on trying to put an end to the Iranian nuclear program, the way we've seen it happen. It's not over yet, because we do need to recover those uranium at that level that they have. And I don't know what happened, but anyways, it's still there under their territory. But the program, but we are not concerning right now with what's happening in England and France, which are two nuclear powers, where there's a lot of people, radicals, that are also running for office there. And I keep imagining what would be a world with the British nuclear codes and the French nuclear codes. Those are the two nuclear powers of Europe, where we're seeing what's happening in that scenario. So I'm really concerned about this expansion. I'm really concerned about. I'm glad that the war is not over yet at this point. I think it's important that we continue, to push on this until this regime, it's over, and then we can, really support the Iranian people with what they deserve, and bring their own way of selecting their leaders and so forth. But that's what I would like to bring is this a different approach, different thoughts about why it is important not to stop now, why it is important to try to really, finish with this regime. I'm sure that if there is any remaining folks from this regime, they're going to cross the border into Turkey. And I think, they are all interconnected, interrelated. And I think this is another aspect that we need to consider and see. And also, the last point I want to make, I do believe this time that we are back into this scenario with Iran. I think there might be a possibility for a coalition with some Gulf states, which are like Saudi Arabia, maybe others, who are really concerned about what Iran capability is today.
Well, these idiots have been firing rockets into those countries, and ostensibly it's because those countries are hosting U.S. military bases, but they're not just targeting the U.S. military bases. They're targeting the civilian infrastructure of these countries. Bahrain last night. What was the other one? I guess it was Oman last night. I think was the other one last night. I can't remember. There's so many. I mean, come on. I want to see them step up to the plate too. I think that's a very good point, folks. In the beginning of our dissertation today, or the beginning of our gathering today, I gave my opening salvo or my dissertation, in which I said, this morning when I went to sleep, the president had just said the ceasefire is over. Then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, New York time, when I woke up, I see that the president said the ceasefire continues and the negotiations continue. God knows whether that will change again during our time together today. Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, the United States is conducting new strikes in Iran. Actions, ladies and gentlemen, speak louder than words. Folks, we hear it at 5 o'clock New York.
owns that company, and it is well known here. And I absolutely love that. And nobody loves this country more than that guy. He loves this place. And even with everything that is going on, because he is here legally, and with everything going on, he would like to preserve this because he has benefited from it. The Americans I know are absolutely still American. We have a group that would like us to not be proud of our heritage, that would like us to not be proud of our country, and they just happen to be getting airtime. But you go around this country, Americans are proud of you.
So I just ChatGPT'd it. Well, not ChatGPT'd it. What's the one with Google? The one that they use. Gemini. Yeah, I use Gemini, and it says immigrants are significantly more likely to start a business than a native-born Americans. Compromising roughly 23.6 to 25% of all new business owners.
Americans as a whole, we are entrepreneurs.
In reference to your point, there is a saying that it says gratitude will not come with expectation. So in a sense, if you have been born in this country and been here for generations, probably may have because you expect all of the good stuff being by definition. And so you may be less cognizant and less appreciative in terms of an American born here or being here for 7th generation, even the 2nd generation, versus somebody who's been there all the time. So again, it seems to me you're right. It's just more gratitude, appreciation, and excitement. But
I love hearing that.
Let me speak of the hypocrisy. I'm not partisan about the perspective. But today, cursing America over Americans is this. The moment you put an American visa on the table and say, God bless America, that's what I needed all my life.
What's up? Welcome on.
What's up, Rafi?
What's up, Rafi? Everybody else? How are you guys? Yeah, that's great. That's great. And what a great topic.
Yeah, I think we're back.
Rafi,
Yeah.
I just have some issues with the title.
What do you mean? We're praying for Iran.
Can you please?
We're praying for the Ayatollah.
Pray for the Ayatollah, okay?
And that's it. Listen, I had to pull off an Amir on this one, okay?
Oh my God.
And
it's
rage bait.
It's amazing.
Yeah, right.
No, again, we don't want the one-sided praying here.
I love this. I'm in like old times and I'm on Clubhouse with all my.
This is like season 1 arguments.
No, this is fun. It's just what I missed all these months. I've been busy doing it.
Exactly. We want the nostalgia for you, Jeff.
Oh, kill me. That name represents the best of Clubhouse.
Yeah. We're all represented. We got our Clubhouse badges.
My badge is gone.
I was about to say, what the fuck happened?
I'm in a room that Jeff's gone and Norm.
Yeah, people actually thought you were dead.
He's like, this room title suggests Jeff is dead. I said, everyone knows Jeff isn't dead.
No, but that room title, people were coming in thinking he's dead, actually.
No, only
somebody else came in.
No.
I remember how somebody else came in, or somebody questioned while Norm came in on stage. They're like, yeah, that title.
Norm said it. Anyway, I had to be clear that you were in fact alive and well, just neglecting your friend.
Someone should have texted me and said, come, there's a funeral room for me.
That was probably Norm.
Yeah, guys, I better attend my funeral, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Or I'll be pissed.
Okay. So speaking of praying for someone, there's a famous quotation from Nietzsche which says, if 15 million say a stupid thing, still it's a stupid thing. And I'm not referring to any recent bungles at the police.
As well as a certain deterioration in...
But Khomeini, yeah, right? Khomeini. Just to make sure.
I think one of the biggest things...
Is he?
I don't know. We're praying for him, though.
I know something better we could do for him.
We're going to have a communal pray.
No, I know something better we could do for him, Rafi.
What can we do for him?
Yeah. You want to know what it is?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do you think people are going to piss on his grave once they take back Iran?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Rafi, I'm not quite sure there is a body inside of that coffin. Man, impossible. After that huge bomb, you can't, all left is a powder. Impossible. You know, they're playing with the people.
I think they buried parts of him and the son together on top of each other.
Oh, and Rafi, he doesn't get buried in Iran. He gets buried in Najaf in Iraq.
Oh, that's where they're burying him? Oh, you know why? Because they know Iran's going to fall when people are going to get to that grave. So they rather protect it in Iraq.
Yes, Rafi, I'm 100% sure. I very agree with you. Probably that's the part.
They kept him not buried for 6 months, which is very haram. In Islam, very haram, which is very disrespectful. And yeah, to parade him, not nice.
Not nice.
Not nice at all.
Not a nice guy.
The actual Iranians are not doing a parade for him. What they're doing is they're on the way to a vacation location in Iran, the northern part or the southern part, and they're playing this right now.
The voices in my head go. Come to say, put the voices in my head go. Supreme leader. Now I let me come to say, put the voices in my head go. It's dead.
I like the Israeli lyrics.
भी नहीं डांटने डपटने से ये और उल्टा तेजी में आ जाता है। अगर इस पे गुस्सा हो जाओ तो ये कहता है कि ये कैसा महात्मापन है कि बस जरा से में गुस्सा आ गया। और अभी समझा रहे थे अक्रोध, और भूल ही गए और खुद ही क्रोध में आ गए। और अभी कह रहे थे कि मनुष्य को जल में कमलवत रहना चाहिए, और अब क्या हुआ? जरा चाबी घुमाई कि भूल ही है कि जल में कमलवत रहना, एकदम डुबकी मार गए जल में। ये कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ करता है। तो मेरे पिता को खबर भेज देते थे कि महात्मा आए आज हमारे घर में, तुम्हारे बेटे को पता ना चले। मगर मैं उनके घर के सामने से दिन में 2 दफा निकलता ही था। और उनकी पत्नी महात्माओं के खिलाफ स्वभाव था, क्योंकि उसको इनकी सेवा करते करते थक मरी थी वो। और एक से एक मूढ़ों की सेवा उसको करते करते, तो अगर मुझे पता भी न चले, उनकी पत्नी खबर भिजवा दे कि बेटा तू आ जा, लगा दे इसको ठिकाने, क्योंकि मैं तो कुछ कर नहीं सकती, क्योंकि वो पति देव के पीछे। उनकी पत्नी महात्माओं से भी ज्यादा मेरी सेवा करती थी। मालपुए खिलाती, ये करती, बिल्कुल ठिकाने लगा दे इस महात्मा को। ऐसा ठिकाने लगाओ कि कभी आए नहीं वापस। तो मैं भी उनसे कहता कि मैं क्या करूं, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था। संदेश आपके घर से ही मिला है। कहते हैं भेजा होगा मेरी पत्नी ने, मैं जानता हूं उसको, वो तेरे पक्ष में, वो क्यों तेरे पक्ष में वो भी मैं जानता हूं, वो मुझसे बदला ले रही तेरे द्वारा। मैंने कहा तुम अपने महात्माओं को क्यों नहीं कहते कि जवाब क्यों नहीं देते? सत्संग का मतलब ही ये है कि जवाब दे दो। अब एक महात्मा समझा रहे थे कि रामचंद्र जी सोने के हिरण के पीछे भागे और तभी रावण आया और सीता को चुरा ले गया। मैंने कहा ठहरो, तुमने रामचंद्र जी को इतना बुद्धू समझा है? उनको भी इतनी अकल नहीं। गधे से गधे आदमी को ये अकल होती है। अगर मुझे भी नहीं हो सकती, हिरण कहीं सोने के होते? तुम अपने ही कहो, अगर तुम्हें कहीं रास्ते पे हिरण दिखाई पड़ जाए और सोने का, तो तुम उसके पीछे जाओगे? कहते कि नहीं मैं पीछे नहीं जाऊंगा। तुम्हें, अगर तुम सोचते हो रामचंद्र जी तुमसे भी ज्यादा गए बीते थे, सोने के हिरण के पीछे चले गए। सोने के कहीं हिरण होते? इतनी अकल तो उनमें होनी चाहिए। अरे जो कहते हैं कि सारा जगत मृग मरीच का है, वो मृग की ही मरीचिका में आ गए, हद हो गई। जवाब नहीं है तो बेचैनी खड़ी होती, पसीना छूट जाता, गुस्से में आ जाते। मेरा अपना अनुभव यही है कि छोटे बच्चों को अगर मौका मिले, उन्हें हम मौका ही नहीं देते, हम उन्हें डांट डपट के रखते, अवसर ही नहीं देते। नहीं तो तुम पाओगे कि उनके पास से ताजगी और उनके पास से मौलिक सूझबूझ, दृष्टि, और हम अगर उनको सहारा दें तो हम उनकी दृष्टि को निखार सकते, उसे बलवान बना सकते। छोटे बच्चों के पास जो क्षमता है, अब तक हमारी सारी चेष्टा उसे नष्ट करने में लगी रही है। इसलिए मनुष्य जाति इतनी मूढ़ है। अन्यथा बुद्धों से भरी होती, और बुद्धों से भर सकती है पृथ्वी, मगर हमें काम बच्चों से ही शुरू करना पड़ेगा। और जब तक हम बच्चों की प्रतिभा को स्वीकार नहीं करते, तब तक हम मनुष्य को बदलने में समर्थ नहीं हो सकते। चौथा प्रश्न, भगवान आपके पास आते आते मेरी बुद्धि खो गई, मैं क्या करूं? प्रेम चैतन्य, यह तो होना, लेकिन तुम शायद मन में अपेक्षा और ही लेके आए होगे। मेरे पास जो लोग आते हैं प्रारंभ, नए नए लोग जो प्रश्न मुझे लिखते हैं, उनमें यही होता है कि भगवान हमें ज्ञान दे। ज्ञान तुम्हारे पास काफी है, जरूरत से ज्यादा वही माँ बाप दे रहे हैं, पड़ोसी दे रहे हैं, जो मिले वही ज्ञान दे रहा है। ज्ञान देने में कोई कमी? तुम लो ना लो ये तुम्हारी मर्जी, मगर देने वाले दिए ही चले जाते। इस दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा मुफ्त दी जाने वाली चीज सलाह है, हर कोई देता है। तुम ना भी मांगो तो लोग देते, तुम नहीं लोगे ये भी जानते हैं, फिर भी देते। और ऐसी सलाहें देते हैं जो उन्होंने खुद नहीं मानी अपने जीवन में, वो भी तुम्हें दे रहे हैं सलाहें। सलाह देने में तो लोग बिल्कुल ही कृपण नहीं होते, कंजूस नहीं होते, मगर सद्गुरु सलाह नहीं देता, ज्ञान नहीं देता, बुद्धि नहीं देता, बुद्धि छीन लेता है। जिसको तुम बुद्धि समझते हो उसको छीन लेता है। अभी तुम आविष्कृत होती, तुम्हारे भीतर अंकुरित होती है प्रतिभा, तुम्हारी मेधा बढ़नी शुरू होती, उसमें अंकुर आते, पत्ते लगते, फूल खिलते। गया उल्टा। सदगुरु के पास होना है तो मामला ही उल्टा। इसलिए तो जो चालाक है, बाज, वो भागे भागे रहते हैं दूर.
What I'm talking about is as passing the buck and never really owning that you all Muslims killing each other, killing their neighbors, killing other groups. It just, the Middle East in general and everywhere Muslims go turns into shit.
Okay, now, sorry, let me say this one. Okay, you have ChatGPT, you have this. Can you just ask ChatGPT who is sponsoring Boko Haram in Africa?
Who funds the Muslim Brotherhood? And it isn't the West.
You said?
Who funds the Muslim Brotherhood? It isn't the West.
Okay, it's not the West. You can just take it and check ChatGPT who is sponsoring it. You see who is sponsoring it.
Yeah, it's not the West.
So who is sponsoring it?
Who do you suppose?
I suppose it's the West that is sponsoring it.
IRGC. Wrong.
No, not IRGC.
I think that's only half the answer, Al.
कितने बहाने खोज लेते, कितने तर्क जाल बिछा लेते अपने चारों तरफ. इसलिए तो मेरे जैसे व्यक्तियों के खिलाफ.
Whether you're taking money from somebody, you got to be willing to do it, and you're all willing to do it.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Sure.
You know that because of all these things, we have. Do you know that the Christians are separated, the Muslims are separated? Do you know that we have the real Christian and we have the...
I can hear my
Zena, can you get closer to your mic?
Do you know that all those things...
No, you're gonna have to fix your mic, brother.
Yeah, we hear you really bad.
Qatar mostly funds the Muslim Brotherhood. Qatar and Turkey. Help Muslims.
That's the one thing about Turkey. Like, I couldn't really give a shit if they had F-35s, but they have the fucking air defense from Russia, and like one of the things you'd have to fear is that could they use the F-35s to basically train that Russian air defense to take out our F-35s?
Well, I always told you.
I wouldn't want that job.
I always told you, who's your real threat at the end there in the Middle East?
I wouldn't call them a threat to America per se, but would I trust them with something like the F-35? Not really.
No, but we spoke about this. Turkey is shooting people.
Close your eyes and get comfortable. It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely, allowing the quietness of spirit to come in. Feel the blood flowing through your arms and legs, through your body and mind. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And then let it out slowly through slightly parted lips. And when the breath is all the way out, contract your stomach muscles and push it even further out and further out. And then repeat this process of breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And if any outside thoughts should come into your mind, simply brush them aside and return your concentration to the sound of my voice. And breathing deeply and relaxing completely. Breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And now use your imagination sensation and feel your body relaxing one part and mentally relay the relaxing suggestions into that part of your body and feel them take effect. Feel your body relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And the relaxing sensations are now coming into the toes of both of your feet, your heel, and on up into your ankle. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And these soothing sensations now moving on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs to your thighs and to your hips. Just completely round of my voice. As the relaxing sensations move into the fingers of both of your hands. Relaxing your hand. And it now moves on up into your forearm. Relaxing your forearm. On up into your upper arms, relaxing your upper arms, and your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arms are now just completely relaxed as the soothing sensations move on down into the base of your spine. And then begin to move slowly up your spine, up your spine, up your spine, and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscles. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. Feel your scalp relaxing and feel the relaxing sensations flow down into your facial muscle. Relaxing your facial muscle. Just completely relaxing your facial muscle. Allow a little space between your teeth and your jaw is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. All tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And it's time to imagine a bright white light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra of spirituality on the top of your head. Now this is the universal light of life energy. See it, feel it, create it with the unlimited power of your mind. And now, vividly imagine the light concentrating around your heart area. And visualize it emerging from your heart area to totally surround your body with a protectory aura of bright white God light. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, vividly imagine yourself in a situation in which you are going down, 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 deeper and deeper down as I count backwards from 7 to 1. Number 7, Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now very, very deep. And you feel deep. But let's go down even deeper, even deeper, even deeper. Number 7. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2. Deeper, down. Number 1. And you're now relaxed and at ease and at peace in a relaxing, altered state of consciousness. And each and every time you alter consciousness, you will go deeper than the time before until you've reached your natural level, which can be maintained by using this technique several times a week. Feel uncomfortable in any way, all you have to do to awaken is to mentally count yourself up from 1 to 5. So you're in control. You can awaken, and you're now relaxed and at ease, and a quietness of spirit permeates your body and mind. And I'm going to begin by providing suggestions that will be communicated to every level of your body and mind. And they'll be accepted on every level of your body and mind. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new mellow and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. And it's now time to visualize yourself having successfully overcome any and all anxiety. Imagine how it feels to experience an ongoing quietness of spirit. Imagine your reactions and the reactions of those close to you. Vividly fantasize all the changes and benefits derived from living life in this calm state of mind. Create every detail of these visualizations, and in so doing, you communicate your desires to the levels of mind that will assist you in manifesting a positive outcome. Imagine what you desire as if it were already so. Do this now while I am quiet for a while. And you've just seen your own reality, and you're open to positive suggestions which you'll accept and act upon. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. You always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new mellow and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words. Suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted every level of your body and mind. And it's now time to use a repeat technique to saturate your mind with a message. Together, we'll communicate it to every level of your being. So say the words along with me, silently in your mind. Shout them out silently and hear them echo out across the universe and back to you. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. And my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released now permeates my body and mind. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. That's right. A quietness of spirit to flow freely through your system. And every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Your new, mellow, and confident self-image is a projection of who you are. It is. You are mellow and self-confident. Anytime quietness of spirit, the words quietness of spirit, are post-hypnotic conditioned response. These key trigger words invoke powerful post-programming conditioning that you can draw upon when you need it. When you say the words quietness of spirit, you'll immediately feel a surge of calmness and confidence flow through your body and mind. And every time you hear the suggestion, and every time you use your quietness of spirit programming, it becomes more and more effective. And it's now time to repeat another powerful affirmation along with me. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness, calmness, and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. That's right. You've programmed this suggestion on every level of your body and mind. And it's time to create a realization in which you perceive yourself having successfully accomplished your goal. Fantasize the desired result of programming. Create every detail in your mind, your feelings and reactions, the reactions of others, everything. Make it real. Do this now while I'm quiet for a while. And you've just seen your own reality. And upon awakening, you'll remember all that has been communicated. You'll awaken feeling as if you just had a refreshing nap. Your head will be clear, and you'll think and act with calm and self-assurance, feeling glad to be alive and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. So let's come on up now. On the count of 5, you'll open your eyes and be wide awake. Number 1, feel the lifeblood returning to your arms and legs. Number 2, coming on up and at peace with all life. Number 3, coming on up, feeling an internal balance and harmony. Number 4, recall the situation in the room. And number 5, wide awake, wide awake. Open your eyes and feel good. Number 5, wide awake. You're wide awake and fully alert. And I'm going to communicate some powerful self-talk phrases. You can do other things if you wish while programming your mind by repeating the phrases after me. And throughout your day, recall these phrases and say them over and over to yourself, out loud or silently in your mind. All right, now repeat each phrase after me. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident quietness of spirit are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of the programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. So it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace. I have courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. All right. The self-talk phrases session is now complete, and in 20 seconds, the sleep programming introduction will begin. Sleep programming is nearly as powerful as hypnosis for programming your mind with life-changing theta precedes deep delta sleep. Alpha and theta are the levels accessed for hypnosis programming. It is on the first session to take you to levels quickly. Then, as you cross over into natural sleep, you'll continue to hear the suggestions. These affirmations are praised for maximum acceptance by all levels of your mind. The words fade away at the end of the session, telling you to sleep soundly through the night and to awaken inspired to begin a new day. All right, now make yourself comfortable and prepare to be programmed as you go to sleep. Close your eyes and get comfortable. It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely, allowing the quietness of spirit to come in. Feel the blood flowing through your arms and legs, through your body and mind. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And then let it out slowly through slightly parted lips. And when the breath is all the way out, contract your stomach muscles and push it even further out and further out. And then repeat this process of breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And if any outside thoughts should come into your mind, simply brush them aside and return your concentration to the sound of my voice and breathing deeply and relaxing completely. Breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And now use your imagination and feel your body relaxing one part at a time in response to my words. Play the part, and mentally relay the relaxing suggestions into that part of your body, and feel them take effect. Feel your body relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And the relaxing sensations are now complete, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs to your thighs shoulders and to your hips, just completely relaxing. And your full attention is on the sound of my voice. And as the relaxing sensations move into the fingers of both of your hands, relaxing your hand. And it now moves on up into your forearm, relaxing your forearms, and on up into your upper arms, relaxing your upper arms. And your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arms are now just completely relaxed as the soothing sensations move on down into the base of your spine and then begin to move slowly up your spine, up your spine, up your spine, and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscles. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. Feel your scalp relaxing and feel the relaxing sensations flow down into your facial muscle, relaxing your facial muscle, just completely relaxing your facial muscle. Allow a little space between your teeth and your jaw is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. All tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And it's time to imagine a bright white light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra spirituality on the top of your head, created with the unlimited power of your mind, and feel the light within you, flowing through your body and mind, filling you to overflowing with this bright white protectory light. And now, vividly imagine the light concentrating around your heart area. And visualize it emerging from your heart area to totally surround your body with a protectory aura of bright white God light. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, vividly imagine yourself in a situation in which you are going down, 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 deeper and deeper down as I count backwards from 7 to 1. Number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4, deeper, 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 down, down, you're now very, very deep. And you feel deep. But let's go down even deeper, even deeper, even deeper. Number 7. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 6. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 5. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 4. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 3. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 2. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now relaxed and at ease and at peace in a relaxing, altered state of consciousness. And each and every time you alter consciousness, you will go deeper than the time before until you've reached your natural level, which can be maintained by using this technique several times a week. Now, if at any time you feel uncomfortable in any way, all you have to do to awaken is to mentally count yourself up from 1 to 5. So you're in control. You can awaken at any time you desire to do so. And your body is relaxed, relaxed, relaxed. And your mind is relaxed as you cross over into sleep. A peaceful, relaxing sleep. Peaceful, relaxing sleep. And you're at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. As you go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. A deep, peaceful, harmonious sleep. Sleep. And you're going to sleep. And as you do, you accept the suggestions you hear. You accept the suggestions you hear. As you go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And the suggestions become your reality. The suggestions are accepted on every level of your body and mind, and they become your reality. You fulfill your desire. You do. You accept it. You accept the suggestion. You accept the suggestions as you go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. Always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new, mellow, and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. Energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness. Regain control and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your nervous system. All nervous nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. You always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new, mellow, and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. My stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. Through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body, and my stored up energy is released. Quietness of spirit. I relax, regain control, experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the word quietness of spirit, I relax. Say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control and experience a surge of calmness. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body. You release all tension created by stored up energy in your nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problem. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. You always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. As a result of this programming, you develop a new, mellow, and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic condition response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted. Now permeates my body and mind. Quietness of spirit permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released and flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released and flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. And you sleep peacefully through the night and awaken in peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. And you awaken feeling glad to be alive, refreshed, thinking and acting with calm and inspired to begin a new day. And you accept these suggestions as you go to sleep. The suggestions are accepted on every level of your body and mind, and they become your reality. You fulfill your desire. You do. You accept it. And you accept these suggestions as you go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And you accept these suggestions as you go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And you accept these suggestions to accept these just such course.
Discussion with, Cuban coffee on a
And I'm not even sure now if like Sweet Baby Ray's is good or not. Like I have no idea. I don't know.
It's decent. It's not, like I like, for like the kids, it's a regular barbecue sauce that's all over the place. It's Chicago based,
But while y'all were having the conversations, like I don't know anything about this, but I'm just gonna see what this Sweet Baby Ray's is. And then I come to find out it was sold 20 years ago to Ken's, who does the Ken's all dressings, and so they own Sweet Baby Ray's, and they bought it for like 20.
They got to keep the name, or some aspect of it, I think for the restaurant. But yeah, I didn't hear it until I moved up here, and now it's everywhere. Once they sold it, didn't really.
I mean, it is. I do see it everywhere. I've never bought it, never tasted it, but I'm curious, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, somebody did mention Rufus Tea. I like that as well. It's got a different profile. I mean, I think Sweet Baby Ray's it's basic. They got a lot of different flavors. So I think people like that, but it's decent.
So I got a question about barbecue sauce. I ain't trying to start no shit. I'm just looking around. So I was always under the impression that there are different types of barbecue sauces. There's a lot of folks make barbecue sauce and then like dress it up. And what I mean? They didn't really the barbecue sauce as it was. And then the other approach was, which is what we did, we have a smoker. So really they don't pay. And the last and pepper and garlic or whatever, and then put it in the smoker, and it actually turns the smoker infuses the smoke into it over time. That also works pretty well. But what's everybody's approach to it? And I'm not speaking about barbecue sauce. My family is from everywhere, so if you want to put mustard in it, girl, fine. Like I'm still gonna eat it. Like it doesn't matter. You gonna rub it? That's great. I like it. Like when it's a 7 inch hard. So what's your approach?
for scratch because I don't want it to be in the fridge. I do use mustard in it, and I try to make it more on the vinegar side so it's not as sweet. I still put brown sugar, molasses in it, and then I add liquid smoke to it.
Yeah, liquid smoke is a good thing to keep in the cupboard. Anybody else? Any other master grillers in here? Where did you make your time, Joe? You are such a nerd. You are such a nerd. Shut up, Pittsburgh. Okay, fine. We told your secret. It's fine. Everyone has their barbecue secret. Some people they love to share. Some people withhold. It's fine. It's fine. I'm cool.
Oh, I'm not allowed to answer when brothers are. There you go. No, I deserve to be punished for the last time I used the air fryer, and it wasn't for boneless, skinless thighs. No. I may or may not have put a frozen tuna steak from Whole Foods in there. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't thought? Wait a minute. No, I thought it. Oh, okay. Because I was getting ready to say, you mean to tell me? Okay. All right. No, I thought of that. But let's just say it wasn't good and I deserve to be punished.
Yeah, like that.
He seasoned it with salt and prayers.
It was so bad. It was just terrible. And I tried to sauce it up. I made tried a couple different things, and I just couldn't do it. It's really not my will. I'm really not a good husband. And you cooked it all the way through, right? You cooked it done, right? You cooked it well done, right? No, tuna steak well done. I had to ask this question. I know that I will cook it real. Yes.
Not sure he tried to set you up.
Did you see that? You see that?
That's insane.
I mean, I'm not a knuckle dragger, Sherry.
He was about to crash on you.
Because I was going to ask, well, if he had done it, then my next question, I said, must have been dry. It must have been so dry. Was it dry?
Yeah, it was an open air brine. I told you.
No. When he ate the tuna, was it dry? I could have mopped the floor with it. The bathroom floor after a shower. Yes.
Oh my goodness. You might as well smash that up and play it.
I was going to give it to the squirrels outside, but I'm like, that's not even fair to them. Well, you know what? And that's not a good idea either. Don't feed the squirrels. Because if you feed the squirrel, I took a few bites. I had to give myself something, and then I put it in the composting. So I gave it back to there. Okay. Yeah, because squirrels are gangsters, and you cannot feed them. Because if you feed them, you lift up your shade, and they're looking right at you. Oh, they're not coming. They're not coming all the way up here. It's just when I leave. When I leave the building, they will literally stand in the path. Yeah, because they're a gangster. They will stand gangsters. Yeah. Squirrels are gangster. They are.
let me just say, they're more fulfilling than coming into a room where the children are absolutely just dominating the space, just tearing your house up. You come in there and then you save the day, and it's so effortlessly. That your spouse is waiting for you to post or brag. Don't do it. And then they get even more mad. Both ones. You just have that, you lift your head up a little bit, your nose is pointing to the air with the air of superiority. Oh, yeah, no, it's wonderful. Say nothing.
That's not very awesome.
Oh, but it is so satisfying. It's so satisfying. You're like, okay, let me handle this situation. It's wonderful. But you can't say anything. Because you can't be accused of the things that we all know that you're thinking. But she says, you try. You try. And you won't stop.
Did y'all do the Wesley one?
Oh, the Jubilee one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
How was it? How did y'all feel about it? Spoiler alert.
I was in and out. I mean, I sort of wanted to talk about what they wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, it was it had nothing to do, whatever.
So yeah, that was a little frustrating. Like, they're supposed to get up there. And then because he's a politician, and, because, like, this is our, in some ways, exposure and, get his ideas and thoughts out, you get to see who he is. Kind of pretend like everyone he's talking to is like a reasonable person.
Right.
So, yes, I understand. Yes, I hear you. This person is ridiculous.
I acknowledge it was the last person who he selected to get up there again. Forget exactly, but there was something about this whole thing, the whole thing. But nonetheless, it was interesting to listen to.
The one that got the beat
oh God,
into reparations.
Her name was Mrs. Lips.
Oh wow, it was regarding non-voting.
Yeah, her name was Mrs. Lips. And I was like, okay, this is.
These people are, some people are trying out. It's like how people used to do the lemonade back in the day. Some of these people are actors, a lot of them are actors who want to be able to get in front and, draw some kind of attention. to whatever it is that they're up to. So, yeah, they usually have like a normal day.
Well, it was also supposed to be 20 non-voter. And, like, at some point, by the end, at least for me, I'm like, I don't even want any of you voting. Like, just do the whole fucking thing. Like, I don't, because I don't think any of them are actually going to vote. I think they're staunch in their beliefs that none of this matters.
Or make the right choice. Make the right choice. When they vote.
Yeah. Oh, and you guys, for those who don't know what WNA was, in the last far Congress, a long, long time ago, there was this dating show called Lemonade. It's an age, but there are people who did become famous, or at least well known, for a time, who do that show as a catalyst for exposure.
I don't remember this.
What do you say, Spirit is?
I don't remember.
You don't remember Lemonade?
I did. When you kept saying it, I was like, oh, I know that was a show.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I didn't watch it a lot, but you know how, like, there's these throwback shows that tell you what happened on this older show. And so they're like, oh, you know, do you remember this actor? This is how they got their start. And so I was like, oh, snap. Like, I used to see him on the day, but I didn't pay any attention. But, like, I think, what's his name from Madden was on today. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's crazy. There's some other people that use this, but he was one of them.
Hey, Siri Falls.
I'm sorry, brother?
Nope, I was talking to Siri. You know, it's amazing that as, you know, people are talking about this, whether or not, you know, alligators have more capacity, whether rocks can think, is AI sentient. Through all those conversations, Siri has remained to be as dumb as when they launched it. Siri has actually not gotten any better. And I know it's not the same, or that's what we said, but it is amazing how dumb Siri is still.
Oh,
well, yeah, AI telling
me. The baby said, Daddy, shut up. Go ahead.
Said a bad word.
Oh, no, the baby definitely did say that.
Daddy! Daddy!
Yeah, that's one thing we say. Just don't stop talking.
We love the AI baby.
We just talk.
Yeah,
talk to each other.
Yes.
You know, some family, we just talk.
I mean, that's good that you have trained that AI system to just continuously talk back to you.
Oh, Lord, I'll tell you.
You really need to be trained. You need to be trained in Siri. That's what that problem is.
This kid's a weird Siri ass out.
Poor Siri. Put Siri in a trick bag.
The Siri be like, no comfort though.
When Siri first came out, my daughter was crashing. This is her at like 4. Mad. Siri? What's your problem?
Dude, it wasn't much fun playing with the ball.
want to play with me. He has to know to leave. They could just move to town and peanut butter didn't. I would fight for you. Brother, are you okay? I'm allergic to peanut butter. Oh, that sucks. First lady, are you there?
You can eat peanut butter and jelly?
No, I can't. I just wanted to know who's on mute. First lady, are you there? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a good peanut chew.
I love peanut juice too. Let me, you got me to dark chocolate. Let me ask you a question. So, you know that we talked about it earlier about the Julius Caesar and the Romans. They were the conspirators who didn't want him to become too powerful. They wanted him to be king, dictator, all that. And they didn't want him to end the republic, so they murdered him. And the greatest traitor of them all was Brutus, who was a trusted confidant, and according to some accounts, possibly Caesar's son, but I don't want to go there. Only, do you know when it came time for Brutus to kill Caesar? Do you know where he stabbed him? Say.
In his side?
Keep guessing.
In his aorta.
Keep guessing.
In his butt.
Close. Stabbed him in the nuts. That was Caesar's death blow from Marcus Brutus in the groin, in his nuts.
Oh, is that why his head cut off?
It's nuts. I think he got it all off. But this gets to my larger question. Who do people think, the figures of history, is the greatest sinner? Who committed the worst sin? Now the obvious answer, and it would make sense, would be Judas, of course. But can we think of anybody else? Who are the great sinners? Have we had a great sinner of our lifetime?
In our lifetime?
Like a great sinner. Like, you know, we had this conversation, but I've been thinking about this.
You mean like modern history?
Yeah, yeah, modern history, just like
Stalin or like Pol Pot, like that, or like different?
Well, they're evil.
Oh, evil. Okay.
That was expected. What makes Judas worse is because he betrayed Jesus. Stalin didn't betray anybody, really. When he started to kill him, he just killed for power. Judas didn't even kill for power. No. I've been wrestling with this question for a minute. This is the question. I think one of you have to have any answers now. Very interesting. Yeah, they're just brutal. Like, they're just monsters, you know.
Yeah. No, you're speaking to someone that actually betrayed the idea of betrayal.
Well, that's justification for somebody like Judas or Brutus. But I've been thinking of other people, and like if you're a monster, you're a monster. Like you don't really have an expectation for people. That's why, like, I'm not putting Trump in this category. That's why, like, when Trump does stuff and people get so upset, I'm like, what were your expectations?
Mm-hmm. You're right. You know what?
I'm still at this point. Somebody said Joe Manchin. Marcus.
Oh Lord. You know what? I would think about someone like Aaron Burr.
You think he sinned?
Okay, when you say sin, that's the reason why I've been on here. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, sin against who? Themselves? Sin against, like,
God's law.
I mean, like certain deadly sins, like gluttony and all that.
It could be that, or it could just be friendship. just like some sort of violation of God's law or a big moral law.
Well, I would say
And, like,
Bernie
to
Madoff.
change the world. Bernie Madoff, you think he was bad? Bernie Madoff was a good one because people did really put a lot of trust.
All that trust in
He
it,
ruined
all
a
that
lot of
money.
people's lives.
And
And
he
talk
did-
about it. That's a
Yeah.
It's a good one, and it doesn't really matter that most of those people got made whole, or at least close to whole. But that doesn't absolve his sin, because that's a major. That documentary was really fascinating, to be honest, because the whole financial community enabled him. But I don't want to get off track.
Yeah, I'm thinking now, you're right. Last say that, yeah, even though they were made whole, doing that is not considered at all.
Yeah.
Very well could have just been left, you know.
For sure.
But a lot of the people trusted him, especially in the beginning.
For sure.
Like, they had a lot of trust in him.
He was the head
of a lot of people.
He was the head of NASDAQ. Imagine that. Unbelievable.
That's a good one. That's
a really good one.
Would you think like Audrey Haynes, like in that day? He was a spy. He worked for the CIA, and he was an undercover agent for the Soviets, and he was like really trusted and got like a lot of information.
I don't know.
Yeah, like a fascinating story. So like I think of like betrayal, like somebody that you trust and then you got betrayed, but
CIA.
Yeah. I mean, that's already a thing. And then Alan Burr was just a sketchy character anyway. He's so sketchy. I'm trying to think. You say Benedict Arnold because that would be kind of the obvious one, but then that's even complicated. I have to think about it.
I mean, some of these are against, like, the state. Someone put Snowden. But Arnold, to some degree, maybe the names guy.
Because we lost a lot of that.
What was Hoover's sin? Wait, he was coming out. He was coming back there. I think he was just a monster.
Yeah, Hoover, yeah. And he was,
I like Madoff because it was just like regular people. They put their life's work into them.
Oh, yeah.
Took it.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of them were like quote unquote his people. So it was like it was all within the community. It was like right in front of their face. I actually have one of my old managers, like her mother lost everything and she died before she could make it home.
Oh,
so it was
terrible.
Bad. And like not a ton of money, but maybe it was like like $500,000. Doesn't matter. It's just
yeah, because I remember
that can discover whoever is doing these stuff. I won't put them underneath that, but it's not like like it's a horrible to do, it's a scam. But it seems like it's individual people doing it. If there's like a group of people that's doing it, then I could be like, okay, maybe, but
well, Madoff, his sin was so great, his son committed suicide. Didn't his son commit suicide?
Oh, for them.
Yeah, didn't the other one die of cancer or something? No, yeah. I don't know.
One died of suicide, I know for sure.
I don't know. The hand of God came through on that family, though. And then the wife made up something about living in a car or whatever. Rich people don't live in cars. Even if you have money, you lost money, you're still not living in a car.
Oh, I'll tell you another one. The people that created Oxycontin. What was those people's name?
Oh, right. The Sacklers.
Yeah. They killed a lot of people with that. Took a lot of people out because that was not supposed to be a compound that was supposed to be mixed together, and they knew it. They knew it, and they still did it anyway to make sure that they greased their pockets.
Y'all see what Marcus put in the chat?
That's good. Put them in this in a ring. Anyway, that's been a fun aside. I like that. Those is good answers.
I mean, what was the now I'm thinking of Trump original fixer. Now I can't. Roy Cohn. No, Roy Cohn.
Roy Cohn.
Yeah. And he was a piece of shit.
He was an awful person. He was an awful human being.
Monet has one. Some people will say they must believe in the belief that pain brought individuals closer to Christ. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's really a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. She was nasty. Do you know her story, First Lady?
Mother Teresa?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you remember how when we was growing up, everybody loved her. We knew her. Like, who's this Indian Catholic nun in this weird order like that? She was listening to medicines and therapies and everything from
way after she died.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Well, you know she died. You know she died the same week Princess Diana died. People were complaining the fact that she didn't get as much news time as Diana, but when you find out later what she did, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, she didn't deserve it. Yeah, she didn't deserve it. Yeah.
And some people still think that she was just making a good person.
Well, it's still synonymous, if you don't know, with goodness.
I'm telling you, she had one of the greatest PR machines going. Because when she was alive, people thought she was a wonderful person. And when she died, they did rush her to sainthood. And then you find out all of that stuff what she was doing. Yeah.
There's some African Americans. I saw something on Instagram today. Some black and some African Americans. Watching this prayer thing called these people. Maybe I know Pierre too soon.
We gotta mix it up.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I thought you were gonna say Elizabeth Taylor for creating that donuts perfume that just smelled on old women for years. Exactly. That's a sin. That's a sin of humanity. Absolutely. I had to migrate a lot of people away from that.
And it was pure propaganda. Nobody actually thought it smelled good.
Yes, they did. Oh, no, people still wear it.
No, I thought people did it because they just thought they were supposed to do it. Those people think that actually smell good.
Oh, yeah. Yes, people still buy it. Oh, my God. She had white diamond. She had violet eyes. They had a whole line. It's crazy.
I was too much from the late 80s, 90s. Yeah, my mama had that. She was nasty. I don't know. I think some of that stuff just stopped back then, and they really liked it. They liked it loud. I think so.
He's still pushing that. He's still pushing that in a different world.
Yeah, I did not know that humans. I didn't know that.
He said, "Please, man."
I gotta get this part out. I did not know that somebody believed that somebody in 2026 basically saw the world in the broader strokes the way somebody in like ancient China would. That's insane. That was interesting to me. Well, he does. His head is shaped like the. There you go. I told no.
Go ahead with your RJ doctrine. Go ahead.
That's what I said. You can do your thing. I said do it. No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, too late. No, you started.
Yeah, you already know. It's not too late.
Go ahead, let it out.
It's not. Nope.
I'm proud. Go ahead.
The point I was gonna say was the smells are very historicized too. Probably what smells good to us. stank in 1900. It was stank to us.
Walking around smelling like shitty boo boo and the teeth. I'm not gonna be honest. It's hard for me. Having read about, just how dirty things are, how people smell. When you talk about, I don't know, there's a lot of body odors. Now, now the smell, it is gonna stink anyway, but maybe, it didn't smell as bad as people who smell like, some people smell like cold cuts. It's an ultra processed food and stuff. Like, it's just coming out of their pores. It smells like, somebody had a chopped beef.
I love it.
It's just, huh?
He got something cold in his track, huh?
So maybe the smells weren't as intensified, but this just stunk.
Yeah, you read about
that I hate, that everybody loves, but I detest it. Izzy Miyake, I hate it. I said that the other day. So let me just go back to diamonds real quick, because I brought up diamonds, and to be honest with you, when it first came out, as I'm 87 years old, so I don't know how old I was when it came out, and it didn't smell like it did on the next. So the whole church smelled like white diamonds and sweat. And I think that is what we remember about white diamonds. It was very loud.
Was it really popular? This is news. Was it really that big?
Oh yeah, it's very popular. I mean, I wore it, but I just did a dab because it was just too strong. I like you for your admission. It was a dab. But and also I realized at that particular time that I had a sensitivity to perfume, so I had to stop wearing them. So there's that one. Yeah.
Y'all remember, this might have just been where I was Stetson?
I like that sense. Wait, Stetson? The white boys used to wear that.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, was that like the Old Spice but for younger people?
I don't know if it was for younger people. I just remember my dad had some.
So Dr. Resilient brought up Red Door. So it wasn't Avon. Red Door was a little garden. I don't know why everybody was running those more. Hey! Y'all ain't like James? I know I didn't. Someone actually got that for me as Christmas gift. No. I didn't talk to that person. Yeah, I did not talk to that person. Somebody, I'm not talking to you. That is a wonderful gift.
Like she didn't use it. It was just in the house. Like Sherry said, it was a gift. She had the Gina Tay, but I don't think it is there.
That's it. It's a terrible Christmas. Somebody brought me Bijan. I was like, oh my God, I'm throwing this away. Wait a minute, what's that? Bijan? You never heard of Bijan? The fragrances? I can't say that I have. It's the question. It's like a weird bottle. Let me find it and I'll show. I remember explanation point. Not like but it's kind of. It reminds you of that style of bottle. It looks like a little donut with a little like the woman. What's it called? Bijan. No. So the men has like a ball on the top, but it looks like a donut. But oh, I know what you're talking about. I've never. Yes. Yeah.
Usher.
Who? Usher?
that was you, all right. I was like, have we ever met?
I understand it. I understand it, brother. I really don't. I don't understand. I can go on a mini crash about how people do not know how to buy folks gifts. I can crash on that.
The gift card is unacceptable. Give them a gift card.
Well, that would be the last thing you would do, and that is a fact. But if you know the person that you're buying a gift for, it should be easy to get them what they want.
Deal with Babyface singing Patience in the car on YouTube on the Cadillac Chronicles.
Oh no, I didn't, but that's the joint. No, I
It
gotta
is
check
cool.
that out.
So their older brothers is probably 60, 70. They're old. It's the coolest video on the internet. No, it's so cool. They just have you seen the First Lady?
No.
It's the
I saw it
coolest
if they
video.
were driving in LA.
Yeah, it's the coolest video on the internet. It's so cool, and they sound good too.
Aww.
Y'all should check it out. It's came out. I don't know if you I don't know, but I watched it.
Is it as good as the Cookout with oh God, who was Johnny Gill and?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is more produced. That was cool. I mean, it's part of Johnny School's house. Yeah. I mean, I really like that too.
I like that.
When he had the brown on, you know when he had the brown on? Yeah, that was cool. I like that video too. That was really good. But y'all, let me see if I can find it. I'll put it in the chat. Somebody can put it in the chat. But if you like that song, they're older. Babyface probably, how old is Babyface? 65? Babyface must be.
He's in his
68, yeah. He's 67.
Yeah.
He's probably the youngest one of the group. They look Chris Hansen.
So what's the song they're singing again?
They sing Two Occasions. I only think of you on yeah, it's super chill. Yeah, it's real chill. It's like a perfect Saturday in California.
Yeah, I immediately went and found it. It's in the chat.
Only you can make it right.
Yeah, it's great. You'll love it. They look good. It's really dope.
When did that song come out? Was that the era we were talking about? Oh, damn. That old? Oh,
it's
shit.
not earlier. Let me see.
I
told you I feel like it was. Wow, I'm old.
You thought it was later than 87 or earlier?
Yes, I tried to put it in the era that we were talking about. Like,
in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, 87 is right there. It's right there, but it ain't there.
The original video is fly too.
But half of this ain't food. I mean, I'm sorry. They say 1/2 cup of butter. So.
Wait, somebody.
Huh?
First Lady?
She cooking.
Okay.
Oh no, that's a cool video. They sound great. They sound pretty good. Yeah.
And you know why I thought it was the era that we were talking about? Because that's one of those songs that is a hit. To this day, you could.
What time did you think it was from, Devon?
It was like 90, 92, 93.
Yeah. That
no,
makes
but
sense.
it's 87. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
like that? 87. Yeah. It's way back in 87. Oh man, I thought that was the early 90s.
The thing that tells you is the synthesizer. That style of keyboard goes away shortly after. You can hear that. Yeah. And the drum machine. Bang, bang, bang. That like tinny synthesizer keyboard, that kind of goes away. But if you watch the original video, Babyface looks the same because he never grew. Well, he had a slight beard one, but the dudes all have the long, just the regular mustache with like long punk rocker hair, but with a mustache. I don't know why dudes like 25 was wearing just old man mustache. I was watching old Soul Train videos a couple days ago, and what's his name? Walt Harris.
Oh, Major Harris.
Yeah, Major Harris. Major Harris, yeah.
Mhm.
Love Won't Let Me Wait. Before anybody look it up, how old do y'all think he was when you sung that song?
You know what? I thought he was older. I thought he was in his early 40s. I would have assumed he would be late 30s, but
8 years old.
oh, he looks older than that. 8 years old. He looks older than that.
I spent a whole hour researching in there, like a whole 45 minutes. I was like, wait a minute, this birthday can't be right. He was 28 years old when that came out.
I mean, I thought he was older.
Yeah, he dressed. I mean, he did. He dressed and moved like that. Like he had always wore suits, dark shades, and a regular mustache.
Yeah.
I thought he was 40 years old too. I thought he was like Billy Paul in his age.
I'm not gonna look it up, and now it makes me curious about like William Devon, who did the Diamonds in the Back, Sun Rooftop. Like I'm curious.
He was in his 20s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. Yep, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, I bet you was in his 20s too.
But was it the times, man? Because my brothers looked older than they were.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought they was grown men. It's like, oh, he's 17 in this picture. Like, what?
For sure. No, for sure. Sometimes when I watch these videos from the 80s, like this is, I'm Devon, trigger warning. One of my favorite things about Donnie is that he always wears a black suit. I'm like 20% there. Just wear a black suit every day.
Yeah, when I had a problem with it, and I'm not unreasonable. He broke it down. That's his brand. That's his thing. I'm not mad at it. Like, it was weird at first, but I get it now. The Knicks jersey under the suit, jumping in the pool in the suit, doing the 5-car bicycle ride in the suit. It's a trend now. So it's like, okay, I see where you're going with this, but I
like the consistency.
But they're wearing it in this video. If you watch the original Dio video, they just look fly in a black suit, even though it's hot as shit outside and they sweating. They still look fly in the black suit.
In the black suit, yeah. Wait, Ben, do you have a guess? Do you have a guess on William Devon?
Give me the year. What time did
So it came out in 74. Yep.
Oh my God! What is going on? I should have played the lotto tonight. I'm gonna guess he was born in 1947. So he was 27.
Yes, exactly. He was born in 1947.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was born in 1947. You sure was?
You better
February 9th, 1947. Mm-hmm. And he died in 2012.
Give me the Powerball numbers, man. Give me the Powerball numbers.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you why I guessed that? I guessed that because I figured he was a baby boomer, but his parents waited a year to have the baby, so I gave him 47. Wow.
Wait, is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Babyface.
I don't think he's dead, y'all.
Close to dead.
Whoa, dude. Does it could be a lion?
Oh no, I'm just guessing. I don't know.
No. Oh, wait a minute. Who are you talking about? I'm confused. William Devon. Oh, I thought you were talking about Major Harris. I was like, yeah, he's dead. Major Harris, yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
William Devon.
The old black dude born in the 40s. Assumption. The Whispers just died last year, right? Didn't one of the Whispers die?
One of the twins died.
Yeah, because I saw the other one on Sean, the dude from Boys to Men.
Yes.
Sean Stockman show. They were singing Lady, I think.
Lady Commodore's Lady?
No,
the Whispers song.
The Whispers Lady.
Lady. Yeah.
To be my lady.
There you go. I was going to say that.
I was trying to sing something else.
What you was going to say? Not D'Angelo.
It was no. It was like an up tempo, and the song started with "Lady."
I know that one.
That's the Commodores. Yeah, that's the Commodores.
Okay, it's not one of them groups.
Lady.
Have you watched the show yet, First Lady, the Sean Stockman show?
Who's that?
The brother from Boyz II Men, the dark skinned brother from Boyz II Men, that never had any solos.
The tall one.
The tall one, yeah.
He had the deep voice.
Oh, he got like a podcast, but they have a camera with it, and they always sing with the guitar and stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You know what I saw last night, and I forgot that I had it. I was going through my old social media, like going way, way back to see the shit I used to post. One night, Q-Tip was performing Vibrant Thing at the House of Blues in LA, and Prince joined him and played guitar for Vibrant.
I saw that.
Oh, Prince was good. Prince was good for that.
Yo, that was a good venue back in the day. The House of Blues and Sunset Strip. That was a good venue.
Prince was good for doing that. Whenever he did a concert in the city, I know a coworker went, and he did a concert, but he went to City Winery where Prince did a jam session. And I said, why did you not call me? Because I would have gone. He said it was last minute. I'm like, okay.
Well, Prince never really announces where he's going to.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, it's never announced.
No, it's true. I went to see Maceo Parker probably 20 plus years ago. I'm not sure if it was Beacon or Radio City, one of them. And Prince came out for a song, which is pretty fucking cool.
I like when they do that. You never know who's gonna pop up on the stage.
What's your favorite Whisper song? I go first. Mine is Olivia.
Yeah, I like that song. I also like Lady.
I'm Doctor in the chat. I do need a refresher. I mean, I know Whisper.
How does it go?
Which one? Olivia? Olivia is Olivia got distracted on the way to grandma's house.
I was strung out.
I'm with Joey. I'm with Joey in the chat.
And the chorus is that's a good one too. Then the beat goes. And the chorus is the verses goes She has a quota to fill. He wants to buy a new Seville. Like it's about a girl. It's basically a Red Ride story, but she has a pimp.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one? The other one's Lady. The sexy lady. And then there was, and the beat goes on. That's the most famous one.
That's the only one I can think of.
Oh, yeah, Love.
Oh, yeah.
The lady that you just hit sound like what's that man's name? He had a stroke recently. Did y'all hear about that? Uncle Charlie. What's his name?
Oh, Charlie Wilson.
Oh, Charlie Wilson.
He had a stroke?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Ooh, It's a Love Thing. It's a low key.
Yeah,
it's a low key great thing.
Yes, it's
of their time.
Yeah, just what?
Look at what they were wearing versus everyone, their contemporaries, them, those elders. They was ahead. The only thing that really aged them was them big mustaches. That thing that aged them.
Yeah, they had big mustaches.
Fashion, oh, they were GQ. They were GQ.
Oh, you weren't digging the Earth, Wind, and Fire outfits?
Not in this era. No.
Well, that was the 70s, because by the time the 80s would come around, they weren't the same.
Yeah, I'm thinking the late 70s, early
70s you're talking about. Because by the time the 80s comes around, they break up as a group.
Yeah, we get it. Choosy lover. That's what we get.
Choosy lover.
I know Earth, Wind, and Fire, they dressed kind of wild, but that was part of the bit. And also, when you get those custom type outfits, it's a huge write-off for the band. I learned that too. If they're just gonna go to this, you go to some.
I mean,
yeah.
it digs deeper into a hole.
Well,
costumes, y'all.
They was making money. Yeah, exactly. Costumes.
Costumes and outlandish costumes. Do y'all know the group LaBelle, right? Patti LaBelle when she first came out.
Yeah, the LaBelle, yeah.
And all of their costumes and stuff like that, they used to be real unique. Well, they hired their costumes for them. Anybody want to take a guess? It's a male band.
A male band?
It's a male band. Who
Good
hired LaBelle?
Parliament? Funkadelic?
No.
Cool, girl.
Any other guesses?
That was a good guess. Who?
It's a Kiss.
Oh, Kiss.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, LaBelle, and then look at what Kiss was, and it makes complete and total sense. Like you see it.
Huh? I don't get it.
But this was when Patti LaBelle wearing like silver platform heels and spaces. And so
I remember him to Kiss.
Yeah. So then
Kids
that
love.
look ends up where's that basically where's that look?
Okay.
I was not into. Although I just feel like I don't know. I just didn't like Kiss, but I love David Bowie. Yeah, that was totally different.
Ziggy Stardust, right? I remember when he did that interview with Terry Gross. And people still wanted him to do Stargate, the Ziggy Stardust. And he was like, yeah, but I was done with it. It was something that I did as an artist, and I moved on. And so she asked him a question. Do people ask him about it? And he said, yeah. He said, so what do you tell him? He said, well, Ziggy got married and had 2 kids or something to that effect. That's Ziggy Marley? No, the alter ego. His alter ego. Oh, sorry. It's something in your eyes, girl. It's telling you wrong. First lady, was that you who said who's Ziggy Marley? He was. I like David Bowie. Because the way that happened, First Lady, if that was you, I just, Lord have mercy.
Britt, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you click on my PTR, Britt?
I'm not doing this with you.
That is Biden Pusilic. That's who shows up whenever we need a big game. That's who shows up at number 10. Biden Pusilic.
I want to call a fence here because Big Joe actually shows up sometimes. That motherfucker was nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen.
Okay, Pulisic was supposed to show up at the moment, and he took a shit, a hot flaming shit. Oh my! Why try to trigger my sister like that? Can't wait for him to no longer get called up. I hate to say it. Don't want to sound ridiculous. Everybody saw his little speech that his little IG post that he posted as his little, thanks for the memories. Sorry we didn't make it, but he didn't say sorry. It was horrible. His little Easter speech that he put on social media was horrible. He got showed up by Fuller and Balogun and Serginho Dest. It was sad. The people didn't buy it? No, they didn't. See, the people say the real Captain America is English and from Brooklyn. Okay? That's the real Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The people didn't want to see the team rebuild behind number 20. And they want to give number 20 his number 9 jersey and move forward. Not back. And I'm here for it. Slander Pulisic. Grandpa. We're going to put him to pasture like we put all the other grandpas out to pasture this season.
Well, there you go. What you making, Brett?
Salmon.
Are you air frying it?
Oh no, I'm putting it in the oven. But the seasoning that I'm using, I don't air fry anything. I don't have one of those. The seasoning I was using, it clumps, so I had to shake it up. But yeah, Grandpa Billison, Weston McKinney had a bad game. I'm gonna let it go. You know.